Has anybody ever been interested in history at all? Because for me, no, not really. I didn't really appreciate it all that much. Mainly because of school. But on the off chance of school, me liking school, I did enjoy it. I did appreciate it. I did have some sort of interest in history. I like to think of all the inventions, all the events, all the people, and all the battles, all those famous battles, like the Battle of Gettysburg of the American Civil War, and the Battle of Waterloo of the Napoleonic Wars. And we like to look up to those famous war leaders like George Washington and Ulysses S. Grant. So, I would like to talk about a not so famous battle with like a not so good, respected, or rather good leader. I will be talking about the Battle of Little Bighorn, also known as Custer's Last Stand. Custer's the leader. I will be talking about the tensions, I'll be talking about the actual battle, and I'll be talking about the outcomes of the Battle of Little Bighorn. Starting with the tensions. The United States will make treaties with the Native Americans and just eventually just forget about them over time, and this would cause the tensions. I have a quote for you guys. The United States government deadline for non-reservation Indians to return to the reservation is ignored by Sitting Bull and his followers, said by National Monument. And rightfully so. The United States is just pushing aside people and being treated like storage unit supplies. They're just there. You have to deal with them. You have to move them around. And Sitting Bull is their war leader. He would devise all of the attacks, all the attack strategies, the tactics, and he would also lead the women and children to safety during wartime and before his battles. The Sioux tribe and the Cheyenne tribes and many other tribes are being infringed upon their freedoms, and this is because the United States is just not letting them have it. Tensions were so high in other parts of the West, in Kansas. The Cheyenne had killed more than 100 white settlers in 1867. They're making a statement because they are just absolutely ticked off and they want to revolt. They are all gathered together at Little Bighorn River to want to devise a revolt and stuff. So, tensions are pretty high. So now, I would like to talk about the actual battle. The actual Battle of Little Bighorn. The results are surprising. Custer is the United States leader, and he is known to be pretty arrogant, pretty ignorant, foolish, unwise, like me in high school, like me right now. Jokes aside right now, I have a quote for you. Custer had already gained a reputation for getting into trouble. Dude's a troublemaker. Typical, said by American experience. So he would, on June 25th of 1867, he would make a choice whether he would want to invade and keep purging into Native American lands, or whether he would just back off and just wait a while. But he just decides to keep going, just to back up his pride. Why not? And I have a quote for you guys as well. This is a statistic. Some of the commanders had questioned these loads for the fast paces Custer outlined, said by Marie Sanders. So what I'm giving you right here is each individual person will carry these. 100 rounds of ammunition, 12 rounds, it doesn't say it up there, but 12 rounds for the pistol, and 12 pounds of oats for their horses for each person. So the commanders are thinking, is it really ethical to carry this much stuff at this quick of a pace? And so they enter Little Bighorn Valley, and little does Custer know, Sitting Bull, the Native American leader, he's expecting him. And so the ambush comes. Custer, he is absolutely ambushed, and despite Custer's desperate attempts to regroup his men, they were quickly overwhelmed. Overwhelmed just means like I like the word overwhelmed that they use there, said by history.com, to the point where you just can't even think. You can't even gather your thoughts. You can't even find a result. You can't find a response. And so, Custer's 600 within an hour, and an hour does seem like a long time, but in wartime, it flies real quick. It turns into 200 by Sitting Bull's 3,000. It's crazy. And so, all of his army, including him, they all die. Now to talk about the outcomes. Today we have metal detectors. We can actually search for these artifacts, and we found over 5,000 of them. I mean, over 5,000, that's pretty impressive to me. That's a lot. And not just, man, his pride really had a great consequence. All of his army, Custer, dead. His army, dead. 2 of his brothers, dead. A brother-in-law, dead. A nephew, dead. All dead. Man. And this is the second worst and most embarrassing battle America has ever fought. Because the most embarrassing is that emu war. The American Emu War.
That was Australia.
Oh, darn it. And in conclusion, we have seen that decision making has resulted in consequences, whether it's good or bad. In this case, bad, clearly. So if I were to leave anything with anybody, but real quick, we've gone over the tensions, we've gone over the actual battle, we've gone over the outcomes. If I were to leave any advice for anybody, just think about your decisions. Think logically. Think, what is this the best decision I could be doing? And think before you do.